Thank you, Glees. That very kind introduction. And Marty. My friend Tim Patriga over here said, "You're not going to make us cry, are you?" I told him not intentionally. I want to take just a moment to state the obvious, but it can never be stated too frequently, and that is whatever happened while I was here happened because of my colleagues here. And they are a remarkable group of people, and they continue to do extraordinary work. And I hope people in Grand Rapids know that and appreciate them for all that they contribute to this community. And that includes, of course, their colleagues over in Ann Arbor as well. I also want to say a special word about Ralph. You know what? I'll say that. You know, if you've got cell phones, maybe you'd like to turn them off. You know? No, that's. I mean, I just did mine, so I'm as guilty as anyone. I'll tell you a story. No, I won't tell you a story. For once in my life, I'll be discreet. No. But anyway, but actually, I will fill you in on the. I told Glees about my internship. There was an internship in the Ford White House. It tells you something about Gerald Ford. I'm the guy who killed his intern program, and here I am 30-plus years later, having cherished a relationship with he and his family. He didn't hold a grudge. He had every reason to. But it was a strange program. It was. It preceded the president, by all. First of all, like everything in Washington, it was who you knew. I mean, I knew someone. Don't ever guess who it was. I was chairman of the College Republicans in Massachusetts, and the person who recommended me for the program was Karl Rove, who was the chairman of the National College Republicans, and it was run by a perfectly charming young lady who was the daughter of Dick Allison or Dick Powell and June Allison, and she had been an original Mouseketeer. So every afternoon at 4 o'clock, all of the interns were summoned to her office to watch reruns of the Mickey Mouse Club. Well, you know, that was just too good to miss, you know? So anyway, Sally Quinn, who had just come off a brief, disastrous television career in the morning news, she said that I was the only person in America who wrote her a fan letter. I was an undergraduate at Harvard. So Sally said, I want to come and see you and interview you for a piece I'm writing about your thesis advisor at Harvard named Doris Kearns Goodwin. So anyway, I said sure. So we went to lunch in the cafeteria in the EOB, and I was so naive. Of course, everyone thought, oh my God, he's leaking information to Sally Quinn. Well, I didn't have any information worth leaking to anyone, you know. I was working as an intern. But anyway, Sally said, you know, you have wonderful stories. You've come up, and I talked to the editor, and anyway, one thing led to another, and that was the beginning of my literary career. So I suppose I owe that to the Ford White House as well. But in any event, I want to say just one word about our figurative host this evening, if not our literal host, and that's Ralph Hauenstein, because I think it is absolutely amazing. I do a lot of travel, and I have visited a few presidential centers in my time. It is nothing short of remarkable what the Hauenstein Center has accomplished in a very short period of time. The level of programming that it brings to this community and to this state. It is a jewel in the crown of Michigan. And it exists because of Ralph Hauenstein's generosity. At the start of the 1974 holiday season, the President of the United States greeted visitors to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue by comparing himself to the official Christmas tree, a great ornamental spruce that dominated the Blue Room. We're both from Michigan, said Gerald Ford, and neither one of us expected to spend Christmas in the White House. How Midwestern. It should have come as no surprise that one of President Ford's earliest actions was to hang portraits of Abraham Lincoln and Dwight Eisenhower in the White House Cabinet Room. Few observers, however, would have expected him to round out the gallery of heroes with a likeness of Harry Truman. Yet that is exactly what he did. Their politics and personalities might differ, but all three men bore the distinctive stamp of the Middle West. Places shape people, the Midwest more than most. Over the years, self-proclaimed sophisticates on both coasts have conjured up a culturally parched landscape of white picket fences and a small-town conformity swallowed like pills. We know better. It is not conformity that is the hallmark of the American heartland, but civility. These days, civility in politics sounds like an oxymoron. How many times have we been told that politics is a contact sport? But a sport remains a sport only so long as it involves sportsmanship. Civility is not, needless to say, the absence of conflict. It is the ground rules for conflict. Still less is it the abdication of principle. In the words of Adlai Stevenson of Illinois, one of the most civilized men ever to enter the political arena, principled partisanship is the lifeblood of democracy, the operative word being principled. Civility is no guarantee of laws passed or budgets crafted, but a lack of civility makes either task that much harder. Civility narrows differences rather than exploiting them. It would rather produce a solution than a scapegoat. It goes without saying, no party, president, or region has a monopoly on virtue, but civility, to me, something of an outsider, is as Midwestern as Main Street and Assembly lines and corn dogs, especially corn dogs. If Gerald Ford's name is synonymous with civility, it's because his life is inseparable from Grand Rapids. It was providential that the man who would be called on to heal a bleeding nation was himself the product of a broken home. Shortly after the birth of their only child in July 1913, Dorothy King left her abusive husband in Omaha and moved to the Furniture City on the Grand River. By the end of the year, she had obtained a divorce from Leslie Lynch King, along with an unenforceable court order requiring him to provide child support. Her new home boasted 4 movie houses, 5 golf courses, 134 churches, and some of the lowest taxes in the state. A victim who refused to be victimized, Dorothy quickly fell into the rhythms of conservative church-going Grand Rapids. She worked off some of her prodigious energies collecting clothes and baking bread for needy families. In 1916, she married Gerald Ford Sr., who would give his name to her first son before fathering 3 additional boys. A simple credo ruled the Ford household. No doubt you've all heard it. Tell the truth, work hard, and come to dinner on time. The family breadwinner led by example. When a bank foreclosed on their mortgage, forcing the Fords into a rental home, the elder Ford vowed, "I'll just have to work harder." The oldest boy, Junie, to his friends, did his part by tending the furnace and coal supply, mowing lawns, and washing dishes.